They're looking forward to that. Well, we are wishing Jimmy Carter a happy birthday tonight. The only president of the United States from Georgia is 99 years old tonight. Thousands of people have written the former president through a digital mosaic created by the Carter Center. And today, thousands more celebrated his life and, of course, that long list of achievements in his hometown of Plains, Georgia. Atlanta News First Doug Reardon spent his day in Plains speaking to visitors.
Well, the sleepy little town of Plains remained that way for the big day. Jimmy Carter typically spends his birthday with his family, and that was the plan again this year. But his admirers came from all over to celebrate Jimmy Carter in all sorts of ways.
I knew his birthday was coming up on October 1st. I thought, that's a weekend. What if, could I,
So April Kirkman of California did.
So I took a red eye last night from San Francisco to Atlanta, and I slept a little bit in the car, and then I drove down here.
To Plains to celebrate her favorite president on his 99th birthday with her guitar in tow. Kirkman sang us a song she wrote for Jimmy Carter on his birthday.
He worked for peace in the Middle East, fought hard for human rights. I wish that he has a wonderful, spirit-filled day. He feels the love.
Down the road at Maranatha Baptist Church, where Carter attended and taught his famous Sunday school lessons that drew people from around the world.
We're celebrating the birthday of a man 99 years old today.
A small group of friends and worshipers marked the big day, 99 years of service to the nation.
If you want to go for 100, I'm here with you.
Jan Williams has been with Carter at Maranatha from the very beginning. She's not surprised by the support from big names and small that have poured in for the former president's birthday.
The outpouring of love, to me, is just a part of his legacy because he has done so much for the entire world, so much for common man.
The peanut farmer turned president that inspired people all over the world without ever losing his hometown roots.
Plains is Jimmy Carter. Can't take him out of it, and he'll be here forever.
And of course, Jimmy Carter lived the longest of any president after he left the White House, but Jan tells us she's pretty sure he's the oldest resident in Plains as well. That's where we are tonight. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
And we have plenty of other stories about the former president's accomplishments and birthday celebrations. And to learn more about his life and achievements, just head to AtlantaNewsFirst.com.